Are you that person that says, all done, when people ask whether you are ready for Christmas? Or does that question send you into a blind panic? In today's podcast, we're going to chat through pulling together a last minute to-do list so you can feel in control and organized.
You're listening to the Declutter Hub podcast, bringing you tried and tested, no-nonsense tips and advice from the leading experts in decluttering and organising your home. Now here are your hosts, Ingrid Jansen and Leslie Spellman.
Hello and welcome, listeners. I'm Ingrid.
And I'm Leslie.
If you're new to the Declutter Hub podcast, you're so welcome. What you'll find is that we try and find a fun factor in the serious business of decluttering. And if you've been here for a while, you know exactly what we mean. So thank you so much for listening.
If you'd like to get involved in conversations relating to this podcast, it all takes place in our Facebook group. So come and join our lovely, warm, supportive community. To find the Facebook group, go to declutterhub.com/group to find out more, or you can search for the Declutter Hub community on Facebook.
Leslie, it is the 6th of December, so it's getting close now, right? The biggest kind of time of the year for many, many people all around the world. Christmas is coming. We got a lot on, just doing stuff. So we can only imagine. I mean, we're quite organized people, but even we around this time of year get a bit like, ooh, lots to do. I'm not going to lie.
Well, the interesting thing is that it's like, yours is today, right? Your big day.
Well, it was officially yesterday, but I think the 5th of December is St. Nicholas, which is, of course, the time when the presents arrive at the children. I think for the first time this year, Leslie, it was a bit like, because Max is now gone to uni off in the Netherlands. So Jan actually was away to the Netherlands to do something else. So there's me and Anne last night going, oh, okay. So we just ate some pepernoten, which are like Dutch little biscuits.
That's nice.
I know.
But do you think that doing the Sinterklaas on the 6th of December means that you don't do as much for actual Christmas?
Yes, definitely. I mean, we go all out with Christmas with decorating and amazing food and seeing lots of friends and family. But the presents is more done on Sinterklaas in my family. But everybody changed. And maybe it will change for me now as well, Leslie, because like I said, Max is now studying in the Netherlands. We don't see him for Sinterklaas. So actually, maybe next year we're going to go, actually, let's do some presents on Christmas and not on Sinterklaas.
I know. I might check it. Oh my God.
I know.
Like as if you're going to do anything that involves change. Look, I can't believe you're actually saying we might do something different. I'm like, what do you mean? You never do anything different. You just stay with the same routine.
I know. I like my traditions.
Vehemently fight against any change management.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, to be fair, there's all those people who are like, oh, are you done? It's like, are you done? And it's like kind of annoying when people say that. And there are people that have been done since
September.
I know, exactly. Some people are done in September, aren't they? And so it's just really interesting things. So I think, things have got a little bit hectic in the Declutter Hub of late. So am I done? Not a chance. Not a chance. And so I think it's all about what today's podcast is all about is if you're starting to get into a bit of a blind panic, thinking, time's kind of ticking away. First of all, we've got time. It's not a problem. But I think sometimes, like anything, when you are panicking, it's about what do I need to do? Let me gather my thoughts, write it down on a list and go for it. And then you can start ticking those things off and then you feel accomplished and that little bit more in control. So that's what we're going to talk about today, last minute prep, even though it's not that last minute. You know what I mean? I think it feels like if you had anything else in life where you had like 2 more weeks, you'd be like, that's loads of time. Because it's Christmas, it's got this like artificial sort of weird deadline where we feel that we have to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know. We do have still, 6th of December today. It's on the 20th. So we have like 19 days right?
Yeah.
So let's all just take a breath and chat to this in this podcast about, okay, what are the things that you need to do? Actually, I think it's best to just gather your thoughts, because if I think what we need to do, and I think this podcast can really help our listeners to go, okay, right, I need to make a list. I need to just take a breath, get a piece of paper or get a screen up and make a little list for myself. Because I think it's when it's in your head, it's worse, right?
Yeah.
When it's all the things are swirling around in your head, it's worse. And when you actually write it down, you're like, okay, right. Yes, long list, but I've got it all out of my head now. And now let me go first things first. So we've created a little list for everybody that we're going to work our way through to go, okay, if this is last minute, you've done a few bits here and there, but you're like, ooh, what are the things that we need to focus on? First of all, look at, what do you need to finish decorating the house? Because it's a special time of year, Do you still need to get a tree? Do you need to get your tree from your loft or your basement or your attic? Or have you got the tree up and do you just need to put some other bits and bobs around? I don't know, buy candles or something. What is it? Focus on the things that people are going to be. It's nice that you maybe have decorated your, I don't know, bedroom for years to have with fairy lights and stuff. But if there's nothing downstairs in the living room, that takes priority, right? If you want to have a wreath on your front door because you kind of want to have a nice, lovely house, that's the thing you should focus on. So think about
it's a really
priority.
Interesting debate. It's an interesting debate, really, Ingrid, because if you like those fairy lights in your bedroom, we're all about creating a home for yourself and not for other people.
That's true.
But Christmas is one of those times when typically we do have guests coming in. We want to present our home the best it can be. I did go down a bit of a rabbit hole, after our podcast last week where we were talking about Black Friday. I did exactly what you shouldn't do. So I saw this thing pop up on Instagram with Sarah Davis, one of the dragons. Sarah Davis?
Yeah.
Sarah, I think she's called Sarah Davis.
Yeah.
I love her. She's like such a nice person.
She was on Strictly a couple of years ago.
She was on Strictly a couple of years ago, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I saw this thing with beautiful, sphere, like a lit up sphere, like these balls. And she's like, even if you don't have anything else in your house, if you just have these balls lit up, hang them from your ceiling, then that's your job done. And you hang them outside where you might have hanging baskets. And I thought that's amazing. So I did go down the sphere route and buy more decorations that I absolutely do not need. My problem is I lived in America for 2 years and I bought every single possible decoration that I could see while I was there. So I think it's important. So I suppose if you are last minute and you feel like you're running out of time, it's all about focusing on those high impact areas.
Yeah.
So, and not that I'm suggesting that people go look for the spheres, but they are very nice.
Oh boy, we're going to be in so much trouble after last week telling everybody stop shopping. And then we're tempting people with lovely spheres. It's like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so, okay, I'm going to quickly move on here, listeners, because we're down a rabbit hole yet again. Right. Second thing you need to really think about now is, okay, what's the deal with the gifts? Have you got everything? Do you need to, have you bought everything? It's just the wrapping the problem. Have you not bought enough yet? When are you going to do this? Can you order some things online? You kind of now still have time. You don't want to think about this the day before Christmas because you're going to be in trouble. So keep a list of people, presents, what's been wrapped, how am I doing? Are you okay for supplies? Do you still have enough? I don't know, paper, bows, ribbon, name tags. Because once you're on a roll, you don't want to suddenly go, oh, I've actually don't have enough sticky tape, which is quite crucial when you want to wrap stuff, unless you do gift bags. So I think that's kind of an important one to kind of get your head around now. What's the current situation in the whole gifting department?
I think those are the kind of things that send you into a right taste. You're like, okay, got myself together, got my gifts all out. If you've got little ones, kids are out the house, got this afternoon for wrapping, and then you realise you've got no sellotape or gift tags. Gift tags is one for me. I never have any gift tags. We've used them and you just, chaos. But keep it simple for yourself. Gift bags is obviously a lot easier to use than wrapping paper. So if that's possible, then, you know, throw these things in a gift bag and go for it. Don't make it more difficult for yourself. And so, yeah, as Ingrid said, really, really important to make sure you've got the supplies that you need.
Yeah, yeah. Third thing, I mean, this makes me laugh now because we have actually said don't get carried away with last minute shopping and what we've just told about it anyway. Never mind, never mind. But I mean, think about
Do what we say, not what we do, Ingrid.
I mean, if you are still short on some gifts and going out shopping is problematic because of, I don't know, the amount of people that are there or the time it's going to take, and you want to order some stuff online, start to get creative. You know, can I get somebody an ebook? Can I buy some stuff that they can eat or use? Or can I do something to have a fun day out? I mean, a while back did a lovely thing in London. I asked it for my birthday. We went out on some sort of outdoor treasure hunting through London with a theme all about James Bond, which I love and my husband loves. What an amazing gift. I mean, that spending time with my husband and my daughter was for me the best gift. So I'm now already thinking that should be such a great gift for maybe one of them, or for me again for next year. You think, oh, they've got other ones. I want to do other ones now. So start to get creative. Can you have it delivered now on the 6th of December? You still have time to have stuff delivered.
You do. And definitely those Amazon vouchers get delivered within 5 minutes if you actually hit and buy. Do you know what I mean? So if you're really struggling, there's always something that's going to arrive in someone's inbox within 5 minutes. So no stress here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We wanted to talk as well about food and drink shopping. And I think there's a thing that we all do, you know, particularly as women, where we just feel like we've got to do it all ourselves and we don't delegate and we don't ask. And people ask you and go, is there anything I can bring? Is there anything I can do? You're like, no, it's okay. I've got it all under control. We feel compelled to say we've all got it under control when inside we're kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to do and where I'm going to buy it from. And it's all, I've got to bake a pavlova and I've got to do all these things. And so we bring this all on ourselves. And so take a step back and go, you know what? Other people can bring stuff. Other people can do stuff. All I need to do is allow myself to say, yes, that would be really lovely if you would do that. Would you think about bringing this? And so what I would do in that instance, because I think it can be quite stressful if you leave it a little bit open. So you kind of, if you're in control and you're the one that's hosting, you kind of need to know what's coming. You know what I mean? So don't just leave it. Yeah, bring something. Don't just say, yeah, bring a dessert, you know, because if you've got several desserts, if you've got quite a lot of people coming, you need to make sure that you've got a good combination of desserts and things like that.
Yeah.
So I would have a think about what you might want somebody else to bring, and definitely, you know, move through that real barrier of saying no to people all the time. Just say yes if people are offering, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also if people say, can I bring something? Shall I bring a blah, blah, blah? Go, you know what? I would love that. But actually, I've been looking at my menu, and is there an option for you to not bring a dessert, but think about a starter? Or, yes, that would be awesome, but that dessert would fit better with the, you know, give people an option to go and to maybe go, okay, what are you thinking about? Instead of going, can you bring this, that, or the other? And the other person, because if people would say to me, can you bring a dessert? I would go, oh no, I'm not very good at that. You know what I mean? I'm better at other things.
You know what I'm good at? Buying something from M&S.
And reheating it and
they do it really well. Like, why would I want to make something when I can just buy it for like £8? You know what I mean? Like, it'll cost me like twice as much, and it's going to be much less good than the people that are really proficient at baking, right? I'm never making anything on Christmas Day, literally. Buying everything. Like, that's basically doesn't make me happy baking on Christmas Day. I want to spend the time. I want to spend the time with people.
That's the thing as well, you know. Are you a person who really does not do a lot of cooking, and suddenly on Christmas Day you're forcing yourself to do turkeys and stuffing and roast potatoes and all and carrots and all the things, and you're like, oh my, and you feel out of your depth. So really think about that. Can you buy some stuff to just take the pressure off yourself? Whether can you have can you just look at your online shop? If you've already booked a slot ages ago, so you can actually start thinking about this now. Have I got everything on the list? Which recipes am I doing? If you don't have that yet, it's not only food that we need to talk about. It's also of course, the drinks. Lots of people are now, when they're driving, they're doing non-alcoholic, or they're doing, because you have to think about that. You cannot only go, I got wine and beer. That's it. Nothing else.
We're and bine.
We're and bine. I got we're and bine.
Just literally say we're and bine.
Yeah.
It's like it's definitely too close to Christmas. We're losing the plot here.
Yeah, I know.
We don't even know for the word for wine. That everything's going wrong if we can't say wine.
I know.
What's your drink of choice? What's your Christmas Day drink of choice?
White wine all the way, but I don't start drinking until later in the day. I know people here in the UK, and I'm generalizing, obviously.
Yeah, he was generalizing. Stop trying to like throw shade at all us for starting drinking.
No, but you all started.
You've never been to my house on Christmas Day. You've got no idea what time I started to drink white wine or weir or whatever it was that you were calling it. What were you saying? People in the UK start early?
Yeah, early, but I could not do that like at 12. But I mean, you have dinner much earlier as well. You have like dinner at 2. We don't have dinner till like 6. So if I would start on the wine at 12, I'm going to be like, that's not good, is it?
But here's the thing, Ingrid. People do things at different times.
Exactly. I know.
Do dinner at 2. Some people do things at 6. People do different things. So the people that you've seen that start at 2, there's a whole raft of other people that are doing it in a different way. Okay. Starting drinking at midday.
I am going out of this rabbit hole. So what do you drink on Christmas Day?
White wine, standard. No. Never changed.
Yeah. Sauvignon Blanc or a Chablis or something like a nice wine.
Yeah,
exactly. I do it,
Well, actually, I would choose a rubbish wine.
Why?
Just joking.
Oh.
Of course, you're going to choose a nice wine. Like, what you're like crazy. Honestly, you're losing the plot here. Carry on.
I got one more thing to say, and then we need a break, Leslie, because we're going a bit crazy here. Don't forget, if you are doing like a meat or a fish or something, and you've ordered it at a fishmonger's or a butcher, they get mad busy around Christmas time. So make sure that you put that in your diary. When am I going to pick that up? I'm going to do an early morning, late morning. Do I need to book a slot with them? Because before you know it, you're in the queue for like an hour. So those are things you have to take into consideration. Yeah,
it's crazy. Like people literally, we've got the butchers here. Honestly, people are there. They're like there at 5:30 in the morning to get a slot to pick it up at like 8 o'clock. It's like, what is going on? It's crazy stuff, isn't it?
I know.
It is absolutely crazy. But anyway.
Well, I'm all flustered.
I'm already hot and bothered about what's coming in 2 weeks. Okay, this is supposed to be designed to make people feel in control. The stress levels are rising already. It's only the 6th of December.
I know. Phew, let's take a break, Leslie, and stay off the weir while we're at it. Okay, listeners, we have taken a breath during the break because this is supposed to be a stay calm. It's not Christmas yet, and we were getting ourselves in a panic before the break. So that's not good. That's a bad example for you all. So I've taken a breath now and go, okay, don't worry. There is still time. So Christmas cards. If you haven't sent them yet, okay, you can still send them. Maybe not to like the other side of the world. You might have missed that boat. But if you want to send a couple of cards locally, there is still time. If you've missed the boat for the other side of the world, wherever you are, an e-card. You can get e-cards. Let's just keep it, or maybe make a nice little email that you can send to a few people with a little update and a picture. It's like everybody always goes so crazy and so perfectionist, and so it has to be perfect because it's Christmas. I just like to get a card from people because I think it's a nice thing if people take out the time to write a card. But They don't need to give me a whole update for the whole year. I just think, oh, what a nice thing to do. But if I don't get a card, we're still friends. You know what I mean? It's like we're all busy. I like sending cards. I try to always make time to do that. But, sometimes it just doesn't work. And it is what it is. So chill.
Agree. Oh, chill. I'm definitely in the only people I send cards to, really, apart from you, because I know that you're going to judge me harshly if I don't send one, joking, is I've got some older people that I know are much more traditional. And so I think they love the annual getting in touch thing, and it is an annual thing. So I do send, but it's like 10 to 12 cards. Whereas there would have been times where I might have sent 50 or 60. Do you know what I mean? But it's like £1.50 for a stamp.
I know.
You have to put yourself into debt to send your Christmas cards. It's crazy.
I know. It's gotten really expensive.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, you know how much I love card sending, but even I am like, I'm just gonna, if I can't basically hand it to you, apart from you, you'll get a card. But if I can't give it to you, I really, it's like, it's getting too crazy. So yeah, maybe.
Am I not seeing you between now and Christmas?
Well, hopefully, yes. Oh, I can give it to you then. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Good point. I'm going to move on to another thing we think that could really help you. Don't leave all your cleaning and tidying until the day before Christmas. Because if you've got people coming, you don't want to be sorting out your spare bedroom where they're going to sleep the day before and then still wash their bedding the day before if you don't have a dryer. You know what I mean? You have to think in advance. Do a little bit, just plan 15, 20 minutes now for a couple of days a week, just so you don't have this massive backlog. It doesn't have to all look perfect now on the 6th of December, but if you do a little bit over the time, tidying away a few bits and bobs here and there, cleaning a few bits here and there, it will really help you when you get closer to the date when you're going to have people in. You don't need to sort out, the master bedroom if you're not going to have anybody in there. You do not need to do your loft. You don't need to, but, you probably want to focus on your kitchen, your living room, your hallway, and the guest bedroom, and a toilet or bathroom, right? Those are probably your 5 main areas that people will be in. All the other areas, it will have to wait. There will come a time after Christmas or in January that you can kind of go, actually, I need to do a little bit of a sort out in there. But if you've got people staying over at your house, a guest bedroom, a toilet, a bathroom, those are kind of the crucial areas, and the living room where you'll all be spending time in.
Do you not have that weird thing, like where you feel that you've got to get everything perfect by Christmas?
I know.
Like, even if you don't go in there, you feel like a compulsion to.
I know.
It's weird.
I know.
It's completely nonsensical, but it is something that is a very real thing, right? Where you feel that you've got to do everything before like Christmas Eve at 6 o'clock or whatever. And we're like, got to do all these things, So I suppose I just think it's a bit weird as I think about it. Like, why? That room will still be there. It was dusty yesterday. It'll be dusty tomorrow on Boxing Day. It's not going to cause any problems with that little bit of dust,
Yeah.
We just have this strange kind of internal perfectionism, I think, when it comes to the festive holidays, right?
Yeah. Actually, Leslie, I'm quite lucky because I spent Christmas with my sister, as I've done many, many years. So all the cleaning and tidying is up to her. So I can just go here at home in the UK, go drop everything. I mean, but I do leave my house tidy. That's the funny thing as well. I do as well. Before I leave, I make sure everything, not that I think that somebody will come into my house over Christmas when we're not here, fingers crossed, but I just still want everything to look tidy. But I'm a bit lucky that I go to my sister and my mother and father-in-law.
Ingrid, I think that's more about the kind of pre-holiday thing. You don't want to come back into a mess. So that's less about Christmas and more about going on holiday and wanting the house to be sorted before you go away.
Yeah.
It's not crazy though when we think about it.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like we come back within 5 minutes. You're living in things that are kind of chaotic and maybe a little bit dirty or dusty or, not perfect while you're here. But then there's just this weird like thing that means that you've got to get it done on that particular time.
We really need to give ourselves a break. I think we need to be kinder to ourselves with all this stuff because life is busy enough, Anyway, so think about when you're going to set the table. How many people are you going to host? Have you got like enough plates and crockery and glasses and napkins and those kinds of bits and bobs? Have you got everything? Or do you need to organize something from somewhere or buy something from somewhere? Now's the time to think about it. You don't want to think about it the day before Christmas. Now's the time to think, okay, yeah, I'm going to have guests over. Where's my tablecloth? If you want to still do tablecloths, or can you just buy there's beautiful paper tablecloths that you can just go, actually, you know what? I cannot face getting the linen out, washing it all, ironing it all, because it's Christmas, so you want to have it nice. There's beautiful paper tablecloths that we bring as well, to my sister as well to help her out. And it works. It's fine. So
Absolutely, completely agree. I think one of the things that's quite nice if you are hosting to think about in advance is to get like a playlist together of like, I mean, I love Christmas music. Do you? I'll start now actually with the Christmas tunes. I mean, I do get a little bit fed up because we have to sing them over and over and over with rock choir. So, Merry Christmas, everyone, Let It Snow. We've probably sang them already in the whole of November,
yeah.
like 57,000 times. And so we do get a little bit. But, when it comes to like ones that are not rock choir tunes, then it's quite nice to put them on. But I am a bit of a lone person. Nobody else likes them in the house. But I kind of insist on Christmas songs. Do you?
Yeah, definitely.
I love
Christmas
them.
songs all the way. So what's your favorite Christmas song then, Leslie?
Driving Home for Christmas by Chris Rea.
That's my favorite too.
Is it?
That's my favorite. I always cry because it always comes on in the car on the way home. And then I always like put it on full blast and I have a bit of a little tear in my eye because
because I think it comes from when I did drive home from Christmas, which has been many, many years ago, to be fair. But obviously you do drive home for Christmas, right? Every year.
Yeah.
No, I just think it's nice, isn't it? Is Chris Rea like British? American?
I actually don't know. I thought you were going to say Last Christmas from Wham, which is like my second favorite.
No, it's definitely Chris Rea, Driving Home for Christmas.
I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. Why do we always have so many things in common while we're so different, Leslie? It's crazy. I did not know this. This is really my favorite Christmas song ever, Driving Home for Christmas.
You learn something new every day, don't you, Ingrid?
But listen, if you do not have the time to make a Christmas playlist, there are loads of Christmas playlists on YouTube or on your Alexa or on your TV. Find a music channel. There's Christmas galore, music galore. So if you're like, nobody got time to create an old playlist, don't. There's a lot
of harumphing coming through. Do you know what harumphing is, Ingrid? Do you know what that is? Yeah, you didn't do it very well that time. I'll have to do it more for the podcast listeners. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on in this week's podcast, to be fair. I know, the very podcast that's designed to get people energized into creating a to-do list of last-minute tasks. We've kind of just given up already. We have a way. We're like, it's too hard. Just don't do it. Just don't even bother. But on that note, Ingrid, I think the most important thing about Christmas and the reason why we're saying all of this stuff is it's about relationships, it's about family, it's about you, it's about chilling out, and we create all this like nonsensical mayhem around us, to be fair. And if that then ends up detracting from what you want to do, is to just have a nice time, then it's not worth it. And so we're saying keep everything in perspective and give yourself a little bit of time for some self-care, kick back, and to enjoy yourself.
I mean, there are loads of people who are like, you know what? I cannot do Christmas Day and Boxing Day and the Christmas Eve. One day I got it in me to socialize with other people, and the rest I want to go for a nice walk in the woods, or I want to go to a beach, or I want to lay on my sofa and just watch like 4 movies or catch up on TV series. Build that in, because this is also a time where we have time to rest up a bit. Life is hectic. So look at your own energy levels, look at yourself with all of these things. What can with the energy levels that I have, what can I do? What is feasible? Maybe you need to delegate, maybe you need to outsource, maybe you need to order stuff online and not go out shopping if that troubles you. Look at yourself and go, what's important for me? What's important that I get right, and how can do I and my partner, my best friend, my family, my children, how do we fit in this picture? And I think then you will be able to enjoy it. And that's what I think. We might have been harumphing a lot, or whatever it's called, but hopefully this podcast has given you the kind of the list in your head, or on your phone, or in a to-do list, or on paper, and go, actually, hold on a minute. Now, what can I delete from this, or what can I delegate? And what do I feel I really need and want to do to make sure that Christmas is the time for me that I enjoy as well? So, listeners, we hope this has been helpful, because the only thing we want from you is that you have a nice time. Because with all things being said and done, Leslie and I love Christmas. We love this time of year when we see a lot of our friends, a lot of our family, and we want you to enjoy it as well. So I know we've been sighing and harumphing and all of those things, but in the end, I'm feeling good now. I'm like, yeah, got this, got some things to do, but we're good. So
yeah, that's because you've not got to host. Yeah, Muggins here has got to do it for like 16 people as usual. You know, he was like, yeah, I'm feeling quite chilled about it. Yeah, I bet you are.
Yeah, but we do help, and we do, we don't just show up at my sister and go, right, thanks, bring me some wine, bring me some weir. We actually go, right, what can we do to help? And we help set tables, and we clean up, and we wash up, and we help with the cooking. But that's team effort, isn't it? So anyway, listeners, can you create a list for yourself after today's podcast, so you can start to tick off some of these things? Let us know. But for now, thanks so much for listening and or watching, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks so much for listening to the Declutter Hub podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to us in your podcast player so you don't miss an episode, and we'll see you next week.